Hi team, good morning. So this would be the part two for your Gosu programming language. So in this session, we are going to learn few of the methods that we use on a day-to-day basis during your Gosu programming. So especially we are going to focus today on how do you manipulate the data? Like let's say you have a list of values or like list of objects in an array list or a list. So how do you manipulate? How do you filter the data? So we are going to learn about few of the methods that we usually use on our day-to-day life. So without getting delayed, let's get started into the course. So I have my contact manager application, which I'll be using it for the demo purpose. And I have my Scratchpad, which is used in this session for executing my programming. All right. So in the previous session, we have learned about the looping, like if conditions and how do we declare a variables and few of the basic things of the Gosu programming. And if someone is watching for the first time, try to recap your Java fundamentals on the OOPs and the basic functionalities like static methods or OOP concepts of for inheritance, encapsulation, these concepts, and also the fundamental understanding what is class and object, so that it would be easy for you guys when you're learning about the Gosu programming language. So in these sessions, we are going to mainly focus on how do we use Gosu programming, which we don't have it in Java. So there are certain methods which specifically provides for the Gosu programming language. So we are going to learn more about them, not about the Java programming language here. All right. So let's clear out our console. So mainly we'll focus on the method for the properties where we can manipulate the data for a list of details that we have in an array list or a list. Okay. So let's declare a variable. Let me name it as data. Okay. We can declare a array list directly. We can provide the value. So we have to open our floor bracket, and this is the same syntax even in the Java as well. So I'm just giving some numeric value. This is my data set now, like let's say 9. So this is my input data set. So I want to manipulate the data that is present in this array list. Okay, if you control Q over here, the shortcut is control Q. Okay, Q for queen. So control Q, you'll get the documentation of the data object here. So it says that it's a variable of a type array list which has the data type of integer. Okay. So explicitly, we don't need to mention what is the data type of this variable because automatically Goto programming language takes up the data what we have declared based on the syntax that we are using. So since we have declared in a flower brackets and declared the values inside it, it is considered as an array list. At the same time, when you declare an individual value 9, so when you control Q over here, it very shows it as an integer. So by default, application will understand what kind of data set that you have declared. So let's remove this. All right. Now let's see what are the multiple options that we have on this specific variable, like the properties that we can execute on this, and what are the output of while executing that specific one. Let's consider it as output one. So what we can do is there is a method called all match. When you click on dot and then when you try to type all match, it takes a block of code. Okay. What this method does is it is going to return a Boolean value. So it returns true value if all the elements that are present in this array list satisfies the condition that we provide in the block code. So what do I mean by that? So as soon as you auto select it, it provides you the entire syntax what you have to write the code. So it has provided me the syntax, the block code. Okay. Now, like you might have already learned about the block code. How do we start a block? So we start a block with backslash and the element. This element represents each element that is going to iterate over in this specific block. Okay. Now we need to write a condition, any condition based on our requirement. So ELT1 is less than 10. So what it does is all match is going to verify if each of the element present in the specific data set that we have created satisfies this condition or not. Okay. So now let's try to execute this. So I'll just make it as print output 1. Let's try to execute. Okay. So what happened in the background is when this specific line of code is getting executed, uh, this specific method will iterate over each and every data element that is present in this array list, and it compares the condition present over here. So initially the iteration goes like 1 is less than 10, correct? And 3 is less than 10, correct? 9 is less than 10, correct? So it verifies if all the records present in this data set matches the condition. If any one of the condition is not satisfying, it is going to return your false condition. Okay, now let's keep less than 3 or less than 4 because it is written a false value because 9 is greater than, right? So that's the reason it is not matching with this condition, with this data element. That's the reason it is returning you false value, the output as false. Okay, so this all match is going to verify if each and every record present in it is going to match the condition that we have provided in the block of code. Okay, that's your first property where you can manipulate or verify the data. And the second one is, let me give a different name to the variable, all match output. Okay, now let's learn about countWhere. I'm just declaring the names of the variables according to the method that according to the property that we are going to learn. So let's take the same data set. Okay. So when you want to count number of data elements which satisfies a specific condition. Now let's say I want to verify uh, based on a certain condition. Like let's say if the elements are less than 5, I need to know how many elements are present which are less than 5. So during that case, we can do count where. So the same block code again, ELT1 dot ELT1 less than 5. So it is ELT this time. We can take any of the name. This is a custom name. We can provide any name here. It's not about only the system generated one. You can provide any variable name here. Instead of ELT, you can write any name. Okay, the same name should be used in the condition as well. So over here, it is going to verify each and every element present in it, and then which satisfies this condition, and it is going to count you and give you the output. Now let's try to print and execute. Okay, the true value is from the first one, and this is from the second output here. Okay, so there are two data elements present in this array list, which is less than 5, which is 1 and 3. So in those cases, we make use of countWhere. So you have a condition and you need to verify based on the condition how many data elements are present in the array list. So let's move forward. Now let's declare another variable. So basic one, there is a condition for count as well. If you want to count all the data elements, the number of data elements present in it, you can directly make use of the count. Very simple. The name itself indicates what you're going to do as part of that method. Just copy and then print it over here. Okay, the first output is this one, and the two output is for this one, countWhere, and the last one is for how many data elements are present in it. All right, and let's go to the next property, has match output. So you have another property called has match. It is going to return your Boolean value. if any of the element present in this satisfies the condition. Okay. Now let's say ELT dot, or it is taking ELT1 is less than 5. So it verifies if any one of the element is satisfying this condition. Okay. Then it returns a Boolean value. Let's print has match output. Okay. So there are two elements which satisfies the condition and then which is less than 5. So there is a difference between all match and has match and countware and count. So in all match, it is going to verify each and every element if it is satisfying this condition or not. So 1 is less than 10, 3 is less than 10, and 9 is less than 10. So that's why it is returning a true value. But in this case, has match, it is going to return a true value even if one condition satisfies, even one data element satisfies this condition. So as of now, we have two data elements which satisfies this condition. That's the reason it is returning your true value. So whenever you're having any condition, this is best used for like performance related things, because you might be having a huge data set and you want to know only one record which is satisfying or not. Like you just need to know if a specific record is satisfying a condition or not. So during that time, what happens is in the application, let's say you have 1 lakh records of data record. When you make use of this hash match, it is going to, like, let's say in the 10th record, the condition is getting satisfied and application immediately gets stops over there and then returns the output. It is not going to verify all the 1 lakh records. So whenever one of the record is matching the condition, it is going to stop the process of iteration inside this block code and then it returns the true value. That's the reason it is like, for better performance, we can make use of this if you want to know if the condition is satisfying to verify the condition. Okay, now let's move forward. You have something called single where, even that takes the condition and it verifies if there is only one element in the collection that matches the given condition. So if there are more records, then it will throw the exception, like it will throw the illegal state exception. So it ensures that only one data element is present with the satisfying condition that we are providing. Now let's provide ELT less than 5. So when there are more than one record which satisfies this condition, this method is going to throw the exception for us. So let's see now if the application is throwing the exception or not. Single where output. Let me try to execute. Okay. Illegal state exception. So this specific method ensures if there is only one record that is matching this condition, or else application will throw the exception. It says that more than one element matches the given condition. So this method especially verifies if there is only one record with the condition that we are providing. Now let's keep it as less than 3. So less than 3, we have only one record in the data set. Now let's try to execute that. Let's delete it. Okay. The last one represents the single where output. So it verifies one value. One means it's a true condition. When you mention it as here, it is going to give you an integer output. Okay. So it picks up that specific element and provides you. But if there is more than one record, in that case, by default, it will throw the exception. Okay. That's application behavior. So whenever you're making use of the single where, always ensure that you make use of the try-catch mechanism so that we don't get the exception in the application level. Okay. And What other methods that we have? Okay. We also have single method. So even this verifies if there are how many records are present. It verifies if there is only one record, I mean one data element in the provided data set. Let's delete the console, try to print. What's happening is, uh, let me print you the output. Let me comment out all the other things so that there is no confusion while executing. Let me delete. Okay. It is returning there is more than one element present in it. So this data set has more than one element. So this single actually verifies if there is only one data element present in it. Okay. If there are more than one data element, it is going to throw the exception, illegal state exception, saying that this iterable has more than one element in it. What's the difference between your single where and single? Your single where will have the condition and it verifies satisfying this condition if there is only one data element as an output. That data element will be provided as an output. Since there are more than one element, data element which satisfies this condition, that's the reason it is throwing the exception. But the single method, irrespective of the condition, it verifies if there is only one data element present in the specific output data set, this data set. Okay. If there is only one element, let's remove the data set, try to execute. Okay. Now it is getting executed correctly. So these two, we need to handle it correctly because if the conditions are not matching, then it is going to throw the exception called illegal state exception. Okay. And let's try to comment out this as well. We have something called first, the method first or the property first. So access the dataset dot first method. So this first method gives you the first record in the collection, print first output. So what it does is it is going to pick you the first dataset element present in that specific array list. Okay. So it just gives you the first record to just access the dataset, what is the first element present in it. We also have something called firstWhere data dot firstWhere. So even this takes a condition ELT is less than 9. Okay. What it does is it is going to iterate the entire data set and it is going to give you the first element which is less than 9. Now let's add more data values to this. Let me say it is 9, not 9 again, 8, 6. Okay. So what it does is whichever is the first element which is less than 9, it is going to give you that output. So in here, now let's say this as 6 and this as 8. Okay. So it iterates the entire data set and then it gives you the output of it, the first data set which satisfies the condition. Let's try to execute. Okay. The first 6 belongs to this one. It is giving you the first element output as element. And the first element satisfies the less than 9 value. That's the reason even this is giving you the this one, 6 output, which is the first value. Or let's say less than 4. Now let's try to print. Okay. So the first element, which is less than 4 in this data set is this one. Correct? 6 does not satisfy. 8 does not satisfy. 1 will satisfy. That's the reason it is giving you the first output as the 1. Okay. And also you have like, since we have first as the method, you also have last. Data dot last. Okay. Let's try to print this. So let me delete the previous output because it is printing again and again because I'm executing the entire scratch pad. Okay. The last one belongs to the last output, which is the 9 value. Like first and firstWhere, you have last and lastWhere as well. Data dot lastWhere, ELT less than 5, and then let's try to print. It's all about verifying the conditions and getting the manipulated data. I mean the filtered data. LastWhere output, delete, execute. So the last where will pick up from the last, whichever is satisfying. So 9 is not less than 5. So that's the reason it is not printing. Then we have 3. If we don't have 3, then the output would be 1 for this last where condition. Because from the last, this is the value that is satisfying this condition. All right. And also we have something called max variable max output is equal to data dot max. So it returns you whichever is the maximum integer value present in it. Let's try to print that as well. Execute. So the maximum value present in this entire data set is 9. Code view. Okay. So that's the 9 value. And usually you also have maxBy. So for that, we can take another example of data set 2. So let's say data set 2 is equal to, let's take some string values. Let's say AB, ABC, ABCD. Okay. Let's assume this is our second data set. What I'll do is, okay, I'll take this to bottom because I want this entire to be present in a single screen so that we don't have to scroll it again and again. Okay. So now, all right, you have something called maxBy, which takes the condition value again. Data set 2 dot, there's something called maxBy. So what it does is, it is going to return the maximum value present in the collection based on the method, I mean the condition that we are providing. So let's try to provide the condition ELT dot length. Let's try to print. maxBy out. Okay. So what maxBy does is it is going to verify all the records present in it, and then it is going to give you the maximum value based on the condition present here. Okay. So what I'm doing is it verifies the length of each of the string. So the length of the string is 4 characters, 3 characters, and 2 characters. So what this method has done is it has verified the length of each of the data element present in it, and it has written the maximum length. I mean, my condition itself is the maximum length of it. So it has verified all the data elements, and it has calculated the length of the element, and then it has provided me the maximum data element value. Okay. Likewise, max, we also have min. So min will provide you the minimum value present in it, min output. Okay. Let's try to execute. So since I'm taking the data set 2, it is going to give you the minimum set element present in it. Okay. The minimum value that is present as part of this data set is this one. If you're making use of the data set 1, it is the integer value. It gives you the value of 1, the minimum one. This is the 1 value. All right. Likewise for maxBy, you also have minBy. Even there we can actually provide the condition. Okay. Here I need to modify the method. That's why the output is wrong. Okay. It is taking the minimal value that is present in this based on the length condition that we have provided. All right. Let's move to the next method, which is useful in a day-to-day life, called sum. So let's take the data set 2 and then make use of the sum condition. So what it does is it is going to return the sum of the numeric values that is selected from the list. Okay. Or let's say since we are making use of the data set 2, we can actually provide the condition based on what we need to sum up the value. ELT dot length. Why is it not giving? Ambiguous method call. Let me change the syntax. Let me comment out all the other things which we have already completed. Let's print the sum. Let's delete. Okay. Sum will give you the entire summation value of it. Okay. So these are the methods that we usually use. FirstWhere, first, and countWhere, count, and single and singlewhere. So just take a snippet of all these methods, which can be useful in your real-time project. I'll just uncomment all these things. Okay. Each and everything we might be using based on certain conditions. Singleware, firstWhere, all match, has match. Let me provide it in a proper format so that it is easy for comparison as well. Where it count, and countWhere. Okay. These two belongs to one set. These two belongs to one set. One set in the sense like for comparison, it would be easy for you guys. And first and firstWhere, we have it combined already. And single and singleware. If you see here, everything has the direct method and also the conditional method. Last and lastware, first and firstware, last and lastware, single and singleware, count and countware, all match, has match, max and maxBy, min and minby, and sum. Okay, so these are few of the properties that we can manipulate the data using the data set. And there are many more methods, but on a day-to-day basis, we are going to make use of these methods in our real time. All right. So let's connect in the next session. So we are going to learn more about this Gosu programming, which will be useful. So let's cover more concepts related to classes, method, how we are going to create them, and how we are going to manipulate the data in the Gosu programming language. So that's all for today. Thanks, guys.